In Zimbabwe, as President Emmerson Mnangagwa fights to revive the flattering economy, he has also named his son as the Deputy Finance Minister and kept Thuli Nkube as the Finance Minister. The 80-year-old head of state is under pressure to revive an economy that has been harmed by a lack of foreign investment, unemployment, rising inflation, and a local currency that has fallen 80% this year. Last month, Mnangagwa was elected to a second term in an election that the opposition dubbed as fraudulent and criticized by election observers for not upholding national and international standards. The appointment of Mnangagwa's son and nephew has come with criticism from Zimbabweans who also feel the new cabinet is a recycling of people who have been in the cabinet for years and failed to deliver. Now, Blessed Mhlanga, a journalist based in Harare, joins us for more on this. Thank you so much for your time, Blessed.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's get straight to it. How do you think the inclusion of President Mnangagwa's son in the cabinet will impact on the perception of fairness, transparency, and also meritocracy within the government?
Your question presupposes that there was even issues around meritocracy within the government for a very long time in Zimbabwe, which is an issue that has not been under discussion for people in Zimbabwe. The issue around meritocracy, the issue around transparency. The governments in Zimbabwe have been known for awarding, people their position based on allegiance, based on relationships, and since President Robert Mugabe's time. So nothing has changed. And you should also understand that President Emmerson Mnangagwa is a last-term president. This means that he knows that he is serving just for this 5 years, and he's not going to be seeking re-election because the Constitution ends his term of office by 2028. So he is looking for people who are loyal to him. He's looking for people who are going to serve him instead of looking to be in the next government, which is going to be probably led by his successor, Constantino Chiwenga, who is also the vice president.
All right. Would you say that he has broken any aspect of the law by appointing a family member, specifically son, to be a part of the cabinet?
There's no law that stops him from appointing his children, even his wife, in government or for any position whatsoever. So he's not broken any law, but he's also affected his credibility in the eyes of citizens who believe that this is nepotism. This is an appointment which has been done because of family links and relations. So there's no law that has been broken per se, because the cabinet, as you'd be aware, is the prerogative of the executive. The person who wins the presidency has the prerogative to choose the people that he so wishes to be in cabinet. And his son, Mnangagwa, is also a member of parliament, and he stands rightly to be able to be appointed as a cabinet. He's a deputy minister, so he doesn't go into cabinet, but he's a minister none the same in the government of Zimbabwe.
Now, by recycling old ministers who have previously faced failures or controversies, what message do you think the president is actually sending to the general public? And do you also believe that the decision reflects a commitment of accountability and addressing the shortcomings of the past?
So the president was asked these questions during when he appointed his ministers yesterday at a press conference, and he said that to him, his ministers have performed. He said that those who think that those ministers have not performed in the past must remove them when they also become president. These were his exact words. And he says that a minister performs to the satisfaction of those who appoint them. In fact, he was basically saying that the people he appointed, while the general people were seeing that these people are not performing, he was happy with their performance. So probably that would mean his performance could be disconnected to, his appraisal could be disconnected to what the people expect from ministers. But then again, it is the people who elected him in that office. So he thinks that his decision is in line also with the general people. But if you look at Kirsty Coventry as a Minister of Sport, she has not really acquitted herself well. She has been in 6s and 7s. If you look at he participated in an election in Cowdrey Park and he was resoundingly defeated, like him as a minister and also don't like him as a politician. But he still brought them back. But this speaks to what I said earlier on. In ZANU-PF, it is politics of reward. It is politics of patronage. So if you are loyal to the leader of the day, you'll be rewarded, you'll be made a cabinet, regardless of your performance. And the president in his statement clearly said that. So the question is he going to serve this last term in style? Is he going to be able to deliver for the people of Zimbabwe, or he's looking to protect his own interests as he serves as a last term president? Now, those are the issues that should be answered as this cabinet performs. But some have literally called this cabinet the worst cabinet since Zimbabwe attained independence in 1980. We have 5 years to see, and we'll see.
I mean, talking about the worst cabinet, my final question before I let you go, and I would appreciate if you can make it the response as brief as possible. What does this portend for democracy in Zimbabwe? And also, in your opinion, what will be the ideal composition of a cabinet in terms of qualification, experience, and representation, to best serve the people and the country?
I'll start with the last. The best cabinet would have been one that would look at people who are best suited to give the president advice and be able to push back when the president pushes on something. But if you look at the type of people that have been put in the cabinet, they're people who are not going to probably ask questions, who are going to do what the president wants without even advising him that this would probably not work. So this is the problem that you have. You see a cabinet that is missing leaders in business. You see a cabinet that is missing people who have made a name in business for themselves. And you'd wonder why a person who has been an executive in the mines industry for a very, very long time was moved from the mines ministry in the last government now to become a minister of local government and public works, when that person has had no interest, experience whatsoever in that area. So this kind of boggles the mind. And you'd also wonder how, the president's son serving as a deputy minister of finance, who would be the boss really in that ministry? So this kind of brings some dynamics into this cabinet. But as you speak about democracy in Zimbabwe has been a contentious issue for over the years since 1980. Where in elections people are beaten up, people are forced to vote for political parties through violence and fear. This is not democracy, right? We saw this in this just ended election, where you had the SADC Observer Mission was very clear that there was an organization called FAS which threatened people and intimidated people into voting. Now, this would not be democracy in the open sense of it. But let's not discount this. Zimbabwe is moving from the years of octagonism, octagonianism, to somewhat a democracy where you have more people speaking out and claiming space. So democracy still a long way, but still achievable in our country.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.